What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Never Miss Mondays. I'm Olivia.
And I'm Matthew.
And my name is Kramer.
We have another guest today. So we are going to be talking with Kramer about all things fitness training. Kramer owns a gym, and so I'm excited to talk to him about that. So just give us a little bit of an introduction about yourself.
Well, so my name's Kramer.
You're going to have to hold the mic a lot closer.
It's a real name. But I've owned a gym for a little over a year now. I've been a fitness manager, as you guys know, next door.
Yeah.
Won't shout out the name.
Yeah, that's okay.
I think everybody knows. From a small town in Chester, Illinois. So I was there for a couple of years. I went to school in Cape Girardeau at SEMO. Brothers owned a couple of gyms in Los Angeles and Dallas.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's like actually pretty cool.
Yeah, so he owns a gym. Well, it's a long story, but he had bad business partners, all this stuff.
Yeah.
But, so I started out in Los Angeles, did my internship there, and then we moved to Dallas once he was trying to expand. So basically I got to see firsthand of just the admin side of running gyms because I've been a personal trainer. I've had to manage group exercise, one-on-one stuff. But being able to be under his wing for that was a blessing in itself for just learning how it operates.
That's so cool.
And yeah, it was awesome experience, super grateful for it, and thank God now I have my own here.
Yeah, I'm sure that's nice to be able to ask questions too or whatnot if you have stuff that you're not sure of. So
Oh yeah. Well, especially being my brother too, it's like it doesn't have to be like really formal.
Right.
It can just be ask him how to do
Hey,
stuff.
something's going wrong. What do I do?
Right. And then 5 minutes later I can say, no, you're an idiot. I would not do it like that.
That's super cool. No, so we met because we moved to St. Louis, and then you used to live in our complex, and so the gym we all went to was right next to us, basically.
Right.
And so we started going there, and then actually you and I met first because I came in, and you were like, "Oh, you should sign up for a PFA."
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was like, "I think I'm okay."
Yeah.
I was like, actually, I do online personal training full time. I think I'm good, but I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
Kramer was like, "You're a trainer?" And I was like, "Yes." And he was like, "Do you want to train with us?" And I was like, "No, not really." So we met then, but then you hired Matthew.
Yep.
So you all worked together. So how did you enjoy working with Kramer?
Not the company, but
I was about to say, company, not so much. But Kramer was fun. Like, he saved my ass on a few occasions. When I was supposed to open up the gym, I was like, oh, Kramer's got a key. He's good. But it was fun. It was easy.
Yeah. No, I think, and so you were with the gym in the more chain gym for about how long before you made the transition out?
So it was about, I want to say it was about 4 years.
Yeah.
Kind of lose track of time just because, well, it was fun for a little bit when it was One Life, and then once it switched to them, it just wasn't as fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was about 4 years, and then we've had our gym for just a little over a year now.
Yeah. Yeah, so you've been personal training. How long were you personal training? So I know you were like fitness manager,
so
kind of everything there, but you did majority fitness training. How long were you doing like actual personal training?
So actual personal training there, I was doing it the whole time, but in totality, I've been doing it for 29 now, so about 8 years, 8 or 9 years.
Yeah.
And I've loved it. I've always loved working with people because it doesn't feel like a job.
Yeah.
So of course that's always the goal in life, do something to where it doesn't feel like a job and you never work a day in your life. But yeah, so I did that for about 8 or 9 years. I still do it. I'd like to slowly work away from it to grow the gym and make sure all these other coaches are getting paid what they should.
Mentoring coaches and stuff like that. And that's a big piece too, is compensation in the fitness industry, especially for
because it's
in-person trainers, and especially for what people are paying for in-person personal trainers. So, I never had an in-person personal trainer, but if you do, think of the price that you're paying.
Right. Mm-hmm.
basically nothing of that is going to your trainer. Basically.
Lucky to get half of it.
Right. Very lucky. So I
Yeah.
think, you know, when we talked, that was a big thing, you know, why you kind of wanted to start your own too, because you knew, you know, the value in personal trainers and, you know, the difference also as well too of the level of knowledge and application that you get from maybe in a private sense as opposed to like a chain sense.
Right.
So I think if I'm not mistaken, that was a big thing that you wanted to make sure for your trainers you did as well. So
Oh, yeah, that was the massive thing because like at a lot of chain gyms, they might have to where their salespeople will sell you the personal training package, so they will get a percentage of it. The gym tries to keep an ungodly amount,
yeah.
which I get. It's
Yeah, it's a business is business, and you
Right.
know it's the same for online, but it's a drastic difference in percentage.
Oh my gosh, yes. So like with our setup, they're roughly keeping like 25-30% more
Yeah.
at the end of the day, even with like the same charge rates.
Yeah,
Because like next door, you could top out at maybe 60%, but you're going to lose a shit ton of that to taxes because you're
Yep.
W-2 and you're not independent, but you also have no
Correct.
tax credits
correct.
or
Yeah,
anything else.
you can't. You know, you're being W-2, so you can't have any of your credits or your write-offs or anything like that. So
Right.
whereas if you were a 1099 employee, then you could. So
Right.
you know whether that's the gas to get to the gym or your membership or supplements that you're handing out or whatever that may be. So the taxes impacted a lot. That's for sure.
Oh,
so.
yeah. And then otherwise, like the big drawback is people don't start their own thing because you have to be backed for hundreds of thousands of dollars for, I mean, the equipment itself and the flooring, the
Yep.
paint. Do you have a location? Are you buying the real estate, the building? There's just so much other stuff. Like,
Yeah.
of course, it's hard for anybody to come up with like $500,000 in capital.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
So they just end up getting stuck in like Gold's gyms or in these other places, which I mean, I guess Gold's is a
Yeah.
bit more really, but
yeah.
they get stuck in like the corporate chain gyms, and then they just end up making maybe like $20-30 an hour depending what they get.
Right.
But the ceiling is a lot higher than
Yeah. And, you know, with the chain gym, you are kind of being told to train in a certain way.
Right.
You're kind of being guided very heavily of like, these are the workouts you can pick from. You know, this is it. And that's rather than you being able to actually like talk to the client and see what they need and program as the professional that you are.
Right.
It's kind of like, hey, this is what we do as a company. You have to mirror this. So
Right.
you don't grow as a person really.
Right.
So.
It's like if you're at said company, you have to fit their mold. You can't create your own. Like it's just
Yeah.
there's no reward for growth or doing your own thing.
Yeah.
With it, you know?
Yeah. So obviously you kind of transitioned both ways from one working under people for someone else's business in the sense of management, but then you also came from training for somebody else to now, because you still train clients at your gym.
Right.
What do you feel like you would tell somebody if they either want to get out and work for themselves in a gym, or even maybe a trainer that wants to get out and train maybe for someone like you or on their own, maybe like how you have the memberships where trainers can pay and bring their clients there. So like if I wanted
Right.
to independently train people in person, I could buy a membership at RFT
Right.
and bring my clients there per se.
Right.
So what would you tell them?
As far as like trying to find a place or trying to get into like your
Trying to
own
find a
space?
place or like talking to people, or where you feel like you finally knew like this was time.
Right. I mean, biggest thing you can do is try to network.
Yeah.
Personally, that's why I've always loved the personal training, just for the networking itself. I love working with people, but
Yeah.
the networking, you just never know when someone can come and save your ass, or when
Yeah.
something like this of, I want to start my own gym. And
Everybody flocks to you.
right, yeah. Yeah.
So in the opening up your own gym, what would you say, you know, it's amazing to be able to work for yourself, and even just even not even in this, like, obviously you have a business partner, things like that, so you're doing that with somebody, but it's still so different than working under one person, 5 people, 10 people.
Yeah.
Obviously that comes with a lot of risk. It's scary. It's unpredictable. It's not stable sometimes. What would you say are like the pros and cons to working for yourself?
Oh, I mean, the list is super long
Yeah.
in either direction. So obviously, of course, the cons can be, it's a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
It is scary because you sink into an ungodly amount of debt.
Yeah.
And most people don't know where to start. It just goes on and on and on and on. But the biggest thing is, I mean, I can set my own schedule. I'd rather work for it.
Yeah.
So it is nice I can set my own schedule. Biggest thing is having people you can trust, because,
Yeah.
of course, you never know if someone is trying to like siphon money or steal money or take
Yeah.
in products, anything like stuff like that can happen, which can also be a con. The biggest pro is just knowing that once it gets to a certain point that you can feel comfortable of, it can run itself. And of course, end of the day, you want to make money, but
Yeah.
the biggest thing is just making sure that the product is valuable.
Yeah.
Because if you always get caught up like in the money or what it's producing, like if money is the whole goal, it's not real ideal. It's not going to work out.
Yeah.
Because money and power is corrupt, but if you're focusing on just making good products, everything else will come. As far as if you want the money or the power, it's just taking care of your people. But the biggest thing is, it's scary to take a risk. You're not going to be taking a paycheck home for
A
quite
long
while.
time.
Yeah. So that's where it's big on, if you have your business partners, they are the right people, and then that they do their share, no matter if you're 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 with your
Right.
partners.
Right.
It's making sure you have your original partners, you can rely on them to do some other aspect of, if I'm operations, Ronnie's like handling the finances, like all the tax stuff.
Right.
And then Falcon, our other partner, he's more of doing like the construction for if we are to expand, like
Yeah.
another in St. Louis or Florida, Texas, like he'd be more of, if we're developing and growing, that's more of where he comes into play.
Yeah.
bit
Everybody's
more.
kind of got their own tasks, which is
Right,
nice.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, and there's just so many freaking things that go with it that is, I mean, you're not going to learn until you just start to do it, which is even scarier, because
you're like, wait, when do I do it? And I feel like a lot of people get caught up in whatever it is, saying like, oh, I just don't feel ready yet. I don't feel ready yet. Like, when am I gonna feel ready?
Oh,
like,
yeah, and you're never going to.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the ideal world is like, if this started and then we have a plan for 5 years from now, there's stuff where even day to day, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck.
I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah.
It's like, how the fuck am I supposed to know? But it's just something that you just learn as it goes on, which can be even scarier, but that's the reality of it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how most companies operate. It's just, as long as you can pivot well, then you'll do fine.
Yeah, I mean, and I was just having this conversation with somebody else the other day. Like, it's in regards to like coaching. Like, you were probably terrified to take your first couple clients, and then now it's like second nature to you. So now it's like you were terrified to open up a gym, but then in a couple years from now, that's going to become second nature to you. So it's you have to do that. And it's like, would I rather take the risk and take a smart risk, obviously, take a smart risk and do something that I want to do, or just say, I'm just going to stay here and not grow and just do what I want to do and not be happy with it. So I think that definitely outweighs the scariness is worth it in regards to like being who you want to be.
Oh, yeah, because your ceiling is a lot lower if you're just like just staying. If you want the 9 to 5, if you're making whatever is good money, 60, 70 grand a month, or a month would be amazing.
Wow.
$60,000-$70,000 a year. Like, if that's something you want to do, that's cool. But if you want something that like you're making something great, or you want to make more money, I mean, it's just it's not going to be there unless you're rising in the ranks of a company. Which, if that's ultimate goal, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, do your thing. But I think it's cool too. You got to build like your own team. Back to networking and stuff. You got to see a lot of people that you worked with over a period of time and see what they were able to bring and say, hey, like, I know you want to be more and I want to be more, so let's do this together. And you have the people that you can trust. We're RFT and we see you and Jamel and Curtis and everybody just coming in and out, and everybody's got their share and they care about the business as much as you do. Like, Jamel cares about it like it's his, Curtis cares about it like it's his. So I think that helps with it not feeling as scary. You have those people that you can trust too.
Right.
So
it's like if I can't come in one day, and then if Jamel can do some shit, or Curtis, like, it's just nice to have like that backing, and then also just trying to create a community out of all of it too.
Yeah.
I mean, community is one of the biggest things you can have with it, because then it's also comfortable for everybody else.
Everybody's comfortable. You're comfortable with who's there. You're, in the beginning stages, that's the scariest part is, who can I trust? Who's going to enjoy it? Who's going to like it? You know, what are they going to say? So if you've got, you know, your group of people that you've been around for a little while that are constantly there, they're in there, they're talking about it, and referrals bring anything more than anything.
Oh
so,
my gosh, yes.
And St. Louis has been dying for a new fitness space, at least downtown especially. Like, downtown is horrible in the fitness space.
Yeah.
As far as access. I mean, we had what's over there and Fit City's down here, but it's pretty run down, so it's and it's not in the most ideal place either. So I think everybody, once they even caught wind of it, was just kind of like, phew.
Yeah, and we've had quite a few from like the Edge Club and like all these other people that do come there, because they also have like those 3-month contracts.
You have the contracts, your sign up fees, you have to like give your firstborn child to cancel and like prove everything.
One of them literally have to where you have to write
a letter,
handwritten
to cancel.
Like
they won't let you cancel over the phone, do anything.
Yeah,
and that's why people don't go sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like fucking ego or what it is, but my God.
Yeah, like you said, you know, money is one thing, but you know, people being happy in the service, but also the community. Like, you know, your gym doesn't have, you know, it doesn't have equipment that some gyms have, but I would rather go there because I know the people that work there. I know the environment. I'm comfortable in the environment. You all support me and support Matthew. And so it's like, I would much rather be in an environment like that than an environment that I'm just like, oh, okay, they have a pendulum squat, but they hate me or they don't care that I'm here. Right?
Yeah.
So I think that's a big piece is people are so much more willing to be somewhere where they feel safe, they feel included, they feel like they're bought into the vision stuff, which I think you guys definitely have. So
yeah, which even like some of the equipment, all the other stuff, like it is gonna come. It's just purely budgeting more than anything else.
I mean, y'all started just at about a year ago.
Yeah, so it's like a year and 17-ish days.
Wow.
So we're still super fresh.
You've made a lot of progress then in a year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a fully functioning gym. It's not like, hey, we have a squat rack and some dumbbells. Like, you've got what you need.
Yeah,
so
and it's like our farmer's carry is 2 buckets of water. Like
right.
It's not like that. But yeah, we have like a long equipment list and like the whole spa build out and everything, which I can't fucking wait.
That's amazing.
Can't wait, because then it'll feel semi-complete. Even if it is complete, it still won't.
Is that what you're putting out in that front area where like the desk and stuff used to be?
So there's where the desk used to be. That'll be like a physical therapy. And then behind that black wall next to the tile, there's like another 600-ish square feet.
Wow.
Maybe more. So it'll be 2 bathroom showers, lounge area, so the gym can extend a little further. So we can get those like 8-tier systems where there's a cable crossover, lat pull down, row.
Yeah. Nice.
So it's like we're going to get one of those, but it's even when people come in, they're like, oh, you should get this, you should get this, you should get
Believe
this.
me, I buy it for me then.
Yeah, I'm like,
okay, so order it and get it delivered.
Yeah, I'm like, each thing you listed is at least $4,000.
Right,
like,
right.
I'm like, fuck, just because we started company doesn't mean like, oh,
I have
everybody's
everything.
Jeff Bezos. Like,
right.
We all have money all of a sudden. Like,
and you all have, that's what I was talking to him about, because I was like, hell, I'll buy a hip thrust machine, just put it in there. So,
oh, yeah.
But like everything that you have, you can do, like, I can do hip thrusts in there, I can do squats in there, I can do deadlifts in there, you've got the dumbbells, you've got cables, like, is it fully exhaustive? No, but you can do pretty much every movement in an ulterior way.
Oh,
like, there's nothing that, you know, okay, you don't have an abduction machine, guess what, you have cables. Like, you don't have a hack squat, guess what, you have a Smith machine, do it in a hack squat way. Like, it's not like you're missing on any sort of major movement. So it's not like you're, like, I never go in there and say, oh, I can't do this exercise. So I think that's a thing too, is equipment's nice, but people also just like convenience.
Oh,
so.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure most of the time we'll wake up and be like, what are we hitting today? Well, we have to go to RFT because next door doesn't have what we need. Yeah. So, like, even though you don't have everything, you have more than what most gyms around have.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
or you
especially starting.
Yes. Like, to start off, like, you do the hack squat, like, walking down, like, fuck yes, let's go. Like, I don't like to normal back squat with the barbell. Hate it.
Mhm.
But I'll hack squat all day.
Oh yeah.
So, like, yeah, it's just nice that you had more. You have less, but more what most people need and want than, like, next door.
Right.
People don't need 37 ab machines.
No, they don't. And it's also like no matter what you get or
Someone's always going to want something more or
Yes.
something different or a
Mhm.
different style. Like, that's the thing. So you have the basics. Like, as long as you've got some cables, some dumbbells, some
Mhm.
bars, you're fine. Like, we
Yeah.
can figure it out.
Yeah.
So,
and it's like people just don't realize the overall costs.
yeah,
that
and the
stuff, too.
space. It's like, you have to be so conscious of what you're buying because you only have limited space and everybody only has limited space. So somebody may want 36 squat racks, but okay, do you want that or do you want cables? Do you want that or do you want a hip thrust machine?
Right,
So you
yeah.
can't fit everything.
Yeah, and
So
it's like, do you want to walk through the squat rack to get to the bench?
do you
Like,
want to
if
be
you
holding
have all
hands
this
with your
shit-
neighbor or
Yeah, it's like, do you want the person squatting at the front desk and I'm having to look deep in their eyes?
right,
while
right,
they're-
right, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's just so many freaking things like that. But even like those big cable machines that we want with the lat pull downs and rows and all that. I mean, that's
like-
that's $15,000.
Yeah, I was going to say that's at minimum like 10 to 12.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and that's most of them go up to like 20 something.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I mean,
got to wait a little bit, guys.
yeah, it's like it's more than a couple bucks.
Believe me, I'd love to have it too. So yeah, I think and the fun part about it is you don't have to have everything done at once, and so
Right.
you get to expand and add things and find what works and find what doesn't. Like what machines are people using and get the feedback. Start and get the feedback. Okay, maybe my common ask is cable machines. Okay, maybe that's what I'm gonna buy next, or
Right.
heck, maybe it's pendulum squat, whatever it may be. So that way you're not buying equipment and then no one freaking uses it.
Right,
So
and then you're having to resell it for like a 20%
Right.
loss or whatever. if
exactly.
you're
So
going back to like a third party distributor or something.
yeah, so I think it's better for you. You just started with the basics and then get feedback from people, but I mean the basics work for a reason. That's my thing too. Is
Oh yeah. Yeah.
they've been there. People use those in the 80s and 90s, and we're Olympians, so we can use them too.
Oh yeah,
So
exactly.
we'll be fine. So I think something I wanted to talk to you about too is again, like just with the networking and stuff, because I think that's just the biggest piece that I see when I see RFT is just the networking of people and how quick people were to join the team or join the gym or talk about it or wear the merch or whatever that may be. And obviously that comes from building your own brand. And so it can be hard to build your own brand and what that looked like. So, like I know you've got Nicole making you do TikToks every day. So,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
so how do you feel like building your own brand went and helping you be successful?
Well, I mean, it's been great so far. It's just also as a part of like, if you're trying to start your own thing and you want to be successful, like you have to wear many hats.
Yeah.
Well,
No, you're good. You're good.
The microphone.
oh, I thought I spilled
Oh.
something. I was like, that's pretty reasonable too.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like just building a brand, I mean, that's just another thing of there's so many different focuses you can have.
Yeah.
Of course, the revenue is important. Having like some sort of social media status of like we are X. Like,
Right.
That's our brand.
Right.
And then you're having to do the new signups, all this stuff. So it's just kind of doing what you can.
Yeah.
So that's why I've brought Nicole on, and I like doing more of like the meme sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like that's my specialty. 'Cause-
People love it.
Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm like, can't be a serious guy, but I like just being like the funny guy
Yeah.
and serious.
Yeah.
So that's more of like my image. I try to be the lax, like funny guy.
Yeah.
But then I'm just super thankful to have like Jamel and Curtis and Fenner and all these other people to do
Yeah.
sort of their stuff,
Yeah.
whether it's just being informative or getting their own brand
Mhm.
out. But really, I'd like for us to be known as just a place where if someone is wanting to grow their own business, that we are there to provide like the space for it.
Yeah.
Which is the whole reason why we want that higher payout for them, so they can have their success, and of course we would also get recognition from it. But I would just love for us to be like that space to provide for someone wanting to grow their own brand too. So essentially we would just want to be the provider of a coach trainer developing their own business and of course, learning along the way.
Yeah.
Because there's just a lot of stuff you won't know getting into it until you start to do it.
Right.
Yeah, that's like one of the like biggest, probably one of the biggest reasons why we constantly, besides the fact that it's you and your gym, like why we're always going, is the fact that like it's comfortable to film there.
Oh yeah.
Like no one there like will look at us when we bring the camera out or our phone, set up a tripod, walk around, making stupid faces to the camera. Like no one cares. Now if we go to like next door to come on, as soon as they even see a tripod out, everyone's like looking at you weird. Like what are you doing? Like even like personal like
I don't want to be on camera.
yeah like
Shut up.
even if we didn't have our own business or anything, like if we just wanted to make content to put out for our personal selves, like it feels the most comfortable there. Like so, like she's comfortable. She'll pull out a camera. You know, she doesn't care where she's at. Me personally, like I'm not there yet, so I'm just like, if I go next door, if I'm bringing a camera out, the gym better be empty.
Right.
Now, like, I'll go to RFT. It can be packed. I don't care. I'll pull it out. Like it's just more comfortable and like you promote it, almost.
Right.
Like it's. I feel like it's like you said. It's made to help people come in, help themselves, and then
Right. Yeah, like to where like we can just be a provider of if you're trying to do something
Yeah.
for social media or something is in person, it's just an option. And super grateful that the people that do come there, they don't care in the sense of like you can do your own thing. It's not
Right.
they're not trying to bug anybody else. Like,
Yeah. I think, a big thing too is like, a lot of, even with like the filming, because obviously, with filming, we're still respectful of people in the area, all this stuff. I'm not even going to give the disclaimer. But, like, a lot of it too is like, even if not even for my brand, but like for my clients, like I always want for them to have a space, like all my clients are online, but they're sending form videos and recording form videos. And I mean, that's a lot of what I'm recording for too. So it's not even just like personal brand, but just, I got in trouble so many times next door just filming like on my phone on my tripod for a form video for myself that wasn't even going to see the face of the internet.
Right.
But so just having the comfortability, I think of that is important. But I mean, you're so right. Like if somebody wants to start their brand or have a place to be able to do that. Like if I was a trainer and I didn't want to work at a chain gym, but I don't have a gym in my house, like what am I to do?
Right.
Like there's never really been any other option for in-person training. It's either you own the gym or you go work for somebody else at a chain gym.
Right. Yep.
And, for people that want to train in their own style, or maybe they have a specialty, like how they do athlete training or physical therapy or strength training or powerlifting or whatever it may be, they need a resource to be able to go.
Right. Exactly.
And, a bigger chain gym isn't going to let another trainer come train people there.
Right.
So I think that's a good space to be able to offer people. So
yeah. And otherwise, if you're gonna do that, you're gonna have to give that gym like half your parents' assets or
Right,
whatever.
right,
like,
right.
They're gonna fucking ream you.
they're going to
That's
want
for sure.
everything, basically.
Yeah. They're gonna want blood sample, DNA,
Yeah.
all this stuff.
You to prove your clients and everything. No, I think that's big. And I think, like you said, the brand just being funny, being lighthearted, I think, but also with the mix of education. And I like how, you have your brand for RFT, but then, like you said, the people that work with you, like Curtis, Jamel, Nicole, everybody, they promote their brand under your brand,
Right.
where Jamel is like the flip the switch. It's, sports performance and things like that. And then Curtis is doing his physical therapy, and then you
Yeah.
have Ian and whoever it may be, and then you have your classes. So it's not like everybody's RFT and we all program the same way, we all do the same workouts, we all specialize in the same thing.
Right.
It's you're so exhaustive where you have females, you have males, you have people that focus on aesthetics or performance or health or recovery, whatever it may be. So I think that's cool is they have their own brand under your brand too.
Right.
So I think that's
And
cool.
It's like I know what it's like to like you're starting out, you don't know anybody, like it is fucking hard.
Yeah.
Like so us just being the provider of being like we have this blueprint, it's worked for other people, it's worked for myself, like even like now doing like my own testimony of like if your goal is money, which it shouldn't be, but it is
Yeah.
nice to have.
You have to pay your bills.
Right, exactly.
You have to pay your
Like,
bills.
If everything was a charity, that
Right.
You're
We
gonna
would
be
all just
homeless
not
by the
work.
end of the day.
Yeah.
But it's like just trying to provide like a blueprint where like it does work,
Yeah.
and we can help fast track that. Of
Yeah.
If you're to start here, you're growing your brand. Of course, we get some cuts of it.
Yeah.
But it's helping you to get to where you want to be versus you don't have to go and start your own thing and basically do what I did to where you have to sink into ungodly amounts of debt,
Right.
find your business partners, get the equipment.
Yeah.
Like, if things are HIPAA compliant, like there's just so many extra bullshit things, even like the city of St. Louis that you have to do
Yeah.
of getting the business license.
Go Missouri.
Occupancy, all of that's a whole nother story. But,
Yeah.
yeah, there's just so many freaking things that is just invisible to everybody else in order to start it. So that's why we want to try to be the provider of
Yeah.
you can start your own thing here. We'll worry about all the bullshit stuff with the city, county, whatever.
Right.
So it's just nice to be able to provide for the ones that are there
Yeah.
right now.
I think that's good.
Which even being at our 1 year, super grateful for where we're at. We could
Yeah.
be so much further, but we are pretty damn far for our
Yeah.
first year.
I mean, you've got like a full staff. You've got multiple members. They're training on a regular basis. You've got clients coming in. Your socials are doing well. Like your brand is doing well. And so I think that's a lot of movement. And I mean, that's not just like 12 months, like you had the gym and 12 months you bought. Like that's a year of like building the gym, getting it open, doing all that stuff. Not just like, okay, we're hiring people and we're starting to train. It's like we were building the entire gym out and like logoing everything and getting the license and doing the social media and figuring out what the heck we were going to do and going to networking events and everything like that. Like y'all hosted Fit Fest, which I think was super big and cool. So there you go.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, that was a huge
That was
event.
huge.
That was
I mean,
like,
for people to be able to come and see it, there were, almost 30 vendors there?
yeah, there was like 600 or so people that were there too, which is also great to have. I mean, we had a bunch of like events, but that was by far the biggest.
Yeah,
biggest
so
one we
much
had.
foot traffic. Y'all did like the group classes over there, like in the turf and everything. So I think that's cool. And I think it also connects you to other business owners in the area as well, which I think is an even bigger perk. So you can partner with them and whatnot.
And there was like some of the other gyms that there was like BFT and like I forget some of the other ones, but like all those guys were there and they got to see exposure of us.
Yeah.
And then even like future collabs we were talking about with some of them.
Yeah.
So it just helps give exposure, but also just not thinking of like we're in competition with some of these other like studio boutique places. Like, competition's great, but it's not like, I'm sending letters like, fuck you.
Don't come
guys,
here.
You guys suck.
You're
we're
doing
better.
the same thing.
Yeah, like
everybody's here to win, and everybody, wants to partner with each other. And like McKenna and I had a booth there, and we obviously do personal training, but that was, we were completely different. We were talking about like this is nutrition coaching, this is prep coaching, like completely different stuff. And so I think that's cool. Of like, and then you had like people there that were doing like the blood work and like IV therapy and like all that stuff that ties into health and wellness, because we can't do it all. Like I refer people out, you refer people out, we have to work with other people. So what better way to bring those people in, and then maybe they come to you, a client comes to you and says, hey, I have this problem. You could say, oh, well, you need to go get blood work done, go to this place. And so then you're helping them, but then maybe they have someone come to you, like if someone comes to me and they say, hey, I moved to St. Louis, I'm your client, I'll be like, okay, you should go to RFT.
And it shows a lot more trust.
Exactly.
Too, if you're based where like, no, I don't need your money because we don't qualify for each other.
Right.
But if you worked with Olivia online or Matt, like I think you're qualified there.
Yeah.
That just shows more trust, like that you give a shit about them.
About the actual person rather than just making a buck.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's easy just to spoon
Yeah,
feed
sure,
bullshit.
I can help you.
Yeah. Yeah, I can help you. I have no experience with that.
Yeah.
Like,
Totally.
yeah, like there's just, I mean, even that little tidbit goes such a long way with just developing trust. And if it's coming from a good place, they know that you would be a reliable source for referrals or steering them in the right direction.
Yeah, for sure. Lastly, what would you, so obviously you started just about a year ago, but you had this in the works in your mind for probably a very long time. So,
yes.
What advice would you give yourself, like just at about 2 years ago, for opening up your gym? Or even just saying, you know what, screw it, I'm going to do the uncomfortable thing. I'm going to get into a scary amount of debt and do my dream and have my business. Like, what would you tell yourself 2 years ago when you were still just kind of thinking about it?
I mean,
Or almost like 2 years ago, or like, because your gym, you bought it, but like, you built damn near everything inside. Like, it was all
that was
empty, so
another-
you built everything. So, like,
yeah.
one of those hard late nights when you're just beat and dead, if you could go back in time to you right now to tell yourself, what advice would you give?
You're saying to like the nights that like we were building it,
Yeah.
or
I'm asking you the hard questions
yeah,
now.
I was saying it's all worth it. Yeah, probably that it will be worth it. But I mean, even seeing like my brother's gym like come to fruition, like I've always known it's worth it. It's just mostly me finding that right match of who is my business partner.
Yeah.
Because my brother got burned by his, which obviously is not good, but it's good to know in the sense of there are people out there like that just looking to take advantage of
Right.
someone else that has this
How do I
idea.
make sure that I'm picking somebody that's going to move me forward and isn't just in it for money, or they don't care who I am?
Right. It's like they want the product.
Yeah.
I mean, really the biggest piece of advice, because I've been pretty bought into like doing my own thing for quite a while.
Yeah.
Even before I started working, whenever it was One Life, like I knew I wanted to do my own thing, but it was just like with everybody else, like where the fuck do I start?
Yeah.
Who's even gonna come with me?
Yeah.
So that's the biggest reason why I started up here, because mentally I already had that I wanted to do that. I just didn't know what, how, and I mean I had the why. I just didn't know all the other details.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing was just trying to find my business partner and someone that has that trust in me. I have the trust in them. That was mostly what I was waiting for, and me getting ready was just getting acclimated, knowing people here, like
Yeah.
what we said with the networking.
Yeah. Planting the seed for people that whether they were clients or whether they were people that you potentially wanted to work with, or
Right. But I mean, the biggest general advice I can get is just stay the fuck out of your emotions. Like, don't do anything out of spite. If you have the vision, work towards it. If, things are going to suck.
Yeah.
The things worthwhile do suck a fucking lot.
Yeah.
Like even what Matt was saying, like next door I'd work from like 5 a.m. to only like 8 or 9 a.m. But that's because we were going and building the shit ourselves.
Yeah.
So we did the flooring ourselves.
I mean, you were flooring and painting it in like wee hours of the night, wheeling in equipment, building equipment.
Yes, like literally did all of it ourselves,
Yeah.
which saved an ungodly amount of money. And
Right.
that was the most
Yeah.
beneficial thing,
Yeah.
even if we weren't doing it 100% correct. That
Yeah.
saved a ton of
Yeah.
just having a background of my dad has been in construction all
Yeah.
his life. He could build a fucking car out of spoons, probably. I mean, he's just
Yeah.
I
All
don't-
about the people you know.
yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing. That's why I love the networking, because you never know when someone's going to come and can either save your ass on a rainy day,
Right.
or will just be, your partner. Like, it was one of my clients. And
Yeah.
he ended up being a huge blessing for me. And it was all by chance.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I would definitely just say stay out of your emotions. Whatever the goal is, work towards it every day. Don't give a fuck how you feel. Like, gotta be tired, gotta be hungry. Might not take
Yeah.
a check for a while.
You
just-
wanted to eat, so eat.
Right, exactly. like all of our coaches still make more than I do.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is trying to put money back into it to make sure it comes to fruition.
Yeah.
And that's
Rather than how can I make the most money the quickest?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like it's always going to be a long game if it's something that is
Mhm.
valuable.
Yeah. You have to put that initial investment in to get any, and the initial investment's gonna suck. I was just having that conversation too. Like I remember like crying when I paid like $700 for my NASM. I'm like, this
Yep.
is such a waste of money. Like I'm
Yeah, it's such
never gonna
bullshit.
do anything with this. Like this is so dumb. Why am I wasting my money?
Mhm.
And being broke as shit. Why was I paying $700 for a NASM course? Who knows? But
Mhm.
obviously, people, you had the vision, and that's the same thing of I have to just suck it up for a little while and cut some corners and do what I can do to make it work.
Mhm.
But if you didn't take the loan or I didn't get the $700 NASM,
Right.
what would
Yeah.
we be doing?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I
So-
mean, you have to exhaust all resources you have, and that's
Yeah.
why I like talking to anybody and everybody, because everybody has different ideas.
Yeah.
Like, you guys might have different ideas I haven't even thought of that'd be great.
Yeah.
The coaches, like not thinking I'm above anybody.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, that's another big thing.
Yeah,
too.
everybody looks like they work at the, and that's the thing too. When we were talking about how everybody kind of there runs it too and is so bought in. It's like someone from outside could walk in. I guarantee they couldn't tell you who owns that gym.
Right, exactly, and that's what I love about
Yep.
it, really, because I mean, yeah, I don't want to ever
Because
act
they're
like
they're
this is
that
a-
bought in. They know, like, they all walk around like, I respect this place. This is my place. I'm keeping this place clean. This place means a lot to me. Like, if a stranger walked in, they'd be like, who's the owner? It's
Right, yeah.
and you're I know you're wanting to get away from training clients, but you're like, I'm not better than anybody. I'm a trainer too. I'm putting the work in. I'm here
Mhm.
all the time.
Yeah.
Putting the work in. It's not, oh, I'm gonna open my business and then work 2 hours out of the day and
Right, yeah.
let everybody else do the work. It's you're there all the time as well too, and I think they see that, which is why they work so hard for your business as well.
Oh
so.
yeah, because like I don't mind the long days even if like I'm not getting paid for it because I know if like Jamel's
It's gonna
doing
come
his
back to you
part and-
too.
Oh
so
yeah, because like if I'm putting time in to like grow Jamel, Curtis, any one of these guys, I know it's gonna come back to me.
Yeah.
But as long as I give a shit about them,
yeah.
it's gonna come back, and then I know they'll
Yeah.
reciprocate that.
Yeah. Good. Well, we love RFTs, so
I do too. It's been a fucking blessing and a pain in the ass. But
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
no, it's good, and it's cool to be able to talk and see a very big journey that's like a journey that anybody outside here would look at and say, how the hell do you get from point A to point B? Like,
Right.
I want to get there, but how do you do it, and how does like a normal person do this? Like, how do I do? Like, is this possible?
Yeah. Like
So
how, how do you scale?
Right.
You know.
So I think that's pretty cool, and we'll always support you and have your back and do everything that we can to help you as well too. So we for sure wanted to bring you on the pod. So
Oh yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it.
yeah. Well, we enjoyed having you, and thank you all for listening.
Later,
Peace.
bitches.